Hi everybody, it's Miss Jill Starr again. Just keeping them honest, like Mr. Anderson Cooper says on CNN. I met with someone that told me they were the president of the Liberatarian Party in Tarrytown, New York. Let's see, I think it was 1999. I have the email in my hand in which this person invited me to meet with him. Let's see if I can find the date. Yes, it was. It was June 19th, 1999. The person must have been a liar also, because they told me that they were the president of the Libertarian Party in New York State, but obviously I looked up the letter they gave me and they weren't. It was a person, Gregory F. Remke, spelled Rehmke. He said I guess he was in charge of the Foundation for Economic Education. He signed it, Irvington, New York, 10533. His phone number, 914-591-7230. I met with him because I was looking for a job, and he called me, and we discussed a lot of what was going on in Kosovo about the NATO bombing. We were in agreement that NATO, that it was illegal for NATO to have bombed Serbia and Montenegro without prior Security Council agreement first at the United Nations. So he sent me a letter, and in fact, he says, Jill, here it is. I don't know if you could see it, but I have it here if anyone wants to come over and take a look at it. You could see he signed it, and he's inviting me to come over. Let me read it to you. He says, Jill, Saturday at 1 p.m. is fine, period. To get to Fee Crossing at the Tappan Zee Bridge, take an immediate right after the toll booth. In fact, try to use the very rightmost toll booth. This is Route 9 on Broadway. Blah, blah, blah. He goes on, and he says, the driveway takes a sharp turn, and you will be in our main building. Let me know if you have any questions. Remke. Anyway, the thing is this. I was just listening to the interview on Fox News with Mr. Ron Paul, who happens to be a presidential candidate to be the next president of the United States of America, and he wants to do away with all government. He would not protect blacks, Hispanics, Asians. In fact, he wants to get rid of all government. The libertarians, and Mr. Remke in particular, when I met with them, said, not knowing that I myself was on Social Security and disabled, when I met with Mr. Remke, before I left, he shook my hand and he said, I'm going to get rid of all government, and quote, Jill, I'm going to start with the Social Security and the welfare offices. I want to get rid of all government. I was kind of shocked when I heard that. And also Ron Paul shares this view because the libertarians support him. I said that I didn't know they wanted to get rid of all government. I looked at him shocked, and I said to Mr. Remke, what would you do if we had no government? Who would protect the citizens from discrimination and other civic, political, human rights? And Mr. Remke looked at me and he says, quote, I don't know what I'd do instead of government, Jill, but I'd start with getting rid of Social Security, the Department of Education, and I'll go from there until there's, quote, nothing left of government. And still he goes, Jill, I don't have an answer to what I'd do if there was no government, but I'd start with the welfare system and basically the Social Security office. After he told me that, I didn't like him anymore because I said, I'm on Social Security. He didn't realize that. So we shook hands and we parted. But Mr. Ron Paul definitely wants to get rid of all government. I want anyone that supports Ron Paul to know what he truly stands for. If you own any property, say you own what he calls private property, restaurants, that would not fall under public laws or federal, state, or local laws. Mr. Ron Paul would have the owners of the restaurants in America be able to turn down blacks, Hispanics, throw out people with kids, pregnant ladies, people that smoke, whatever floats your boat, so to speak. He would not protect all sectors of American society. He would get rid of government, and it would basically be like an anarchy. Everybody would do whatever they want. If you don't like blacks, don't let them in your restaurant. That's basically what he said. Mr. Paul said on this Fox News interview I just listened to today. And this is what the libertarians basically stand for. A lot of people like them because, they get a lot of their voters by saying, hey, I'm going to liberalize and legalize drugs. So a lot of the young people say, hey, this sounds great. But no one would be protected in America against discrimination. And like I said, when I met with Mr. Emke, he said the Libertarians want to get rid of Social Security and Medicare first, and they don't know what to do. Instead of government, they want to have a police force. I said, like I said, repeat it again. I said, what would you do if there was no government to protect? I'm not fond of police, but what would I do if someone tried to attack me? He said, Jill, quote, I don't have an answer what would I do if there was no government, but I'd start with Social Security and get rid of that first. And then everything else would go from there until there was, quote, nothing left. Happy voting, people. Don't vote for Ron Paul.